Explosions kills 3 persons in Sabongari, Kano. Kaduna train service to resume operation on 23rd of May, barely 2 months after attack. This is Panorama. More reports after the break. I am Frama Panyi. And we begin with an explosion that has killed 3 persons and injured many others in Sabongari area of Kano Metropolis, Kano State. Commissioner of Police Samaila Duko, while confirming the incident, says the explosion was due to faulty gas cylinder. Time to join Adiola in Lagos for more reports on Panorama.
Drama. When 116 people reportedly died on September 12, 2014, following the collapse of a guest house at the Synagogue Church of All Nations at Ikotu-Egbe, Lagos, residents of the nation's commercial capital frequently prayed that such disasters will never befall the state again. That was until a 21-story building under construction on Gerald Road, Ikoyi, caved in on November 1, 2021, leaving not less than 45 people buried under the rubble. As an emerging mega city, Lagos State has lost so much to building collapse. The latest has been the 10 victims who died when a 3-story building on number 24 Ibadan Street, Iputemeta, went down on May 1 this year. While prevention through strict adherence to building code and use of standard materials is always the best, how these disasters are managed by emergency agencies is also key towards reducing the carnage. Today on Panorama, it will be a sober but purposeful discussion as we focus on the spate of building collapse in Lagos State, prevention and management. I am Adeola Komiakere, and don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/alllive and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. I am Adeola Komiakere. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have arrested the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, in connection with diversion of funds and money laundering activities to the tune of 80 billion naira. A statement from the EFCC says verified intelligence showed that the Accountant General of the Federation raked up the funds through bogus consultancies and of illegal activities using proxies, family members, and close associates. The funds were said to have been laundered through real estate investment in Kano and Abuja. Federal government has directed the resumption of the Abuja-Kaduna train services on the 23rd of May 2022 with tight security measures. Statement by the Nigerian Railway Corporation indicates that concerted joint efforts to secure the safe release of the abducted passengers being held hostage by the terrorists continues as it assures the relatives of the citizens still in captivity that the safe rescue of these passengers is top priority and not to misconstrue the resumption of train services as abandonment or nonchalant attitude of the government towards their plans. Passengers are also enjoined to cooperate with the NRC in order to improve service delivery, safety and comfort by complying with additional measures that will be introduced for safety of passengers, such as requesting for passengers' national identification numbers, valid photo identification card, reachable phone numbers of next of kin or close relative. Online and offline purchase of ticket must contain the passenger's individual profile or identification data, while passengers must desist from obtaining tickets through unauthorized sources. Now, the spate of building collapse in Lagos has continued to generate public reaction on diverse issues ranging from regulation to standardization, but at the heart of the matter is the big question revolving around how many buildings could pass integrity tests even as Lagos expands. Michael Olaleye reports.
The dust raised by the November 1, 2021 Ikoyi building collapse is yet to settle. And going by the criticism the disaster generated, one would have thought that the next collapse could take a decade. Within 6 months after the Ikoyi building collapse, 4 residential structures have caved in, and the recent one at number 24 Ibadan Street, Ebute Meta, claimed 10 lives. Between 2005 and 2021, at least 152 buildings have collapsed in Lagos alone. This is according to data collected by a University of Witwatersrand Rand researcher, Olasukomi Habib Okwala. A staggering statistics that propelled my quest in search of how many buildings can actually pass integrity tests in the city.
Oworo, there are some houses that you will see the shape. They'll give you one side shape like this. Some look at they are going to fall tomorrow. Government to do something about them.
My interaction with Emmanuel, a filmmaker, is an eye-opener. He believes the ugly trend might continue if certain measures are not taken to check corrupt tendencies within the building industry.
Towards that Orile axis, there's a building there that is bending, and you know that this building wants to collapse. So, and the government is seeing it, and I've not seen any X branded on that place. Yet, start your building today with everything right. They will put an X on it because why? You have not come to settle them.
It is an open secret that some landlords collude with architects to alter the original master plans of their buildings to accommodate adjoining layers while maintenance is not prioritized.
Ensure you give your jobs due diligence. Let the right people get involved. People want to boycott the payment and say, my father had built so many houses, I can build. Of course you can build.
If a group has been certified to be an inspector, it's like appointing inspectors to do this certification on behalf of government. And they are the ones to take the process through. All that the government needs to do that, okay, it has been certified, and with the integrity of that organization, but the integrity of the people are at stake.
The consensus going forward, according to experts, is for monitoring to be strengthened while legal provision for the revalidation of existing buildings be considered. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
The main thrust of Panaroma today is on building collapse, but we have a guest in the studio. But before then, let's hand you back over to Frama in our network studios in Abuja.
Diola. Now, going back to our earlier report where we had told you 3 persons were injured in Sabongari area of Kano Metropolis, and the Kano State Police Commissioner Samuel Adiko confirmed the incident, saying it was due to a faulty gas cylinder. Now, we will bring you a live update of that shortly when we rectify our issues with our Zoom network. Now, moving on is to the federal government, where he has directed the resumption of the Abuja-Kaduna services of the train on the 23rd of May 2022 with tight security measures without the early morning and night train operations. Statement by the Nigerian Railway Corporation indicates that concerted joint effort to secure the safe release of the abducted passengers being held hostage by the terrorists continues, as it assures the relatives of the citizens still in captivity that the safe rescue of these passengers is top priority, not to misconstrue the resumption of train services as abandonment or nonchalant attitude of the government towards their plight. Passengers are enjoined to cooperate with the NRC in order to improve service delivery, safety and comfort by complying with service delivery, safety and comfort by complying with additional measures that will be introduced for the safety of passengers, such as requesting for passengers' national identification number, valid photo ID card, reachable phone number of next of kin, close relative, and online and offline purchase of tickets must contain the passenger's individual profile or identification data to desist from obtaining tickets through unauthorized sources. Now, the federal government has inaugurated a 12-man interministerial committee to organize activities for the 2022 Democracy Day celebration June 12th. Correspondent Mitere Ekwen reports that this year's Democracy Day celebration will be the last to be organized by the Buhari administration.
It is 4 years since the Buhari administration initiated a change of date for Democracy Day from 29th of May to 12th of June in a bid to redress the annulment of the June 12, 1993 general elections. However, observance of Democracy Day since then have been bereft of celebration, especially due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year's Democracy Day will be the last in the lifespan of the Buhari administration, and SGF boss Mustafa, while inaugurating the Interministerial Committee of Cabinet Ministers, notes that the celebration will be used to extol the contributions of the heroes of democracy in Nigeria.
Some of whom paid the supreme price to restore democracy in the country. It also affords the government an opportunity to showcase its achievements in dealing with myriad of challenges in the social and economic sectors confronting the nation.
At an era when military coups became commonplace on the African continent, Nigeria takes pride in the milestone of achieving 23 years of unbroken democratic experience so far, and the present administration is poised to make it modest but memorable. In Abuja, Mitere Ekwen, NTA News.
Unfortunately, we've been unable to contact our person in Kano. Panorama continues with Adiola in Lagos.
Thank you, Frama. We'll quickly take a break, and when we come back, we shall have the interview with our guest.
Speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially when such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom. Peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
We had taken a report on building collapse in Lagos, management, and of course, how to prevent reoccurrence. And to do justice to that discussion that we will be having is the Permanent Secretary in LASEMA Lagos State, Dr. Okeo Sonitolu. Thank you for joining us on Panaroma.
Good afternoon.
Okay, now judging from the frequency of building collapse, in Lagos, one can summarily say it is a major issue that borders on public safety. Am I right?
Yeah, you are quite right.
Now, what exactly is or are the causes of frequent building collapse in Lagos State?
Well, when you look at the building collapse in Lagos State, you will discover that there is a lot of factors. And one of the major factors is that there's a lacuna between what the government is doing and what some people in Lagos State are doing. Now, the government of Lagos State have made it as simple as possible for you to have building permits. We have building controlling agency. We partner with the building association. We have a lot of machinery in place, both at the local level, at the zonal level, and at the state level. But you see, the sharp corners.
Yes.
What undesirable elements are doing 80% of them are cutting corners. One, why do you say that they are cutting corners? They will use substandard materials in building their houses. Okay. One. Secondly, some of these houses are old, and the government has put it in a clear, simple way. Do integrity tests for your building. Ensure the viability and the strength of your building. But our people are not abiding with it. Thirdly, you discover that some constructions, despite the fact that the government has warned them, we have an agency that oversees this, the building controlling agency has warned them that go for tests, stop activities on this structure. You know what some people normally try to do? Cutting corners. They will start building at night on Sundays when the government officials are not there. And our governments, we have human face to a lot of things. The government of Mr. Babajide Olusola cares about safety of life and properties. But in as much that we won't do a lot of things, we always have human face to ensure safety of life. So the gap, and I keep on mentioning, is the lacuna that our people are not abiding with simple rules and regulations.
Okay, Doctor. Now, following the recent building collapse at Abuja, the state government issued a directive against structures that are more than 3-story buildings. Okay. Now, for this directive is coming a bit later this time. But is it that the state lacks the will to take hardline position against those who infringe on urban and physical building plan? As you said, they cut corners.
Well, it's not like that. It's just that we are trying as much as possible to carry our people along. And we do not shake from our responsibilities. You can see that when need be, we normally, LASEMA, all the primary stakeholders, building controlling agency, Ministry of Physical Planning, we always intervened. We did some interventions in different locations in Lagos State. Not that we shack, but we enforce. But in as much that we are carrying out a lot of enforcement, our enforcement must have human faces. We are not shacking. We have all the machineries, we have all the equipment, we have all the technology. But anything that we are doing must ensure that we have human faces. And that is why you can see in one aspect of our enforcement is advocacy and sensitization. Advocacy in that don't do this, don't build houses there. We keep on going about carrying out a lot of stakeholders meeting with them so that we will meet each other. But however, we will enforce when necessary, and we have been doing that.
Okay, your agency, Lasema, is the lead emergency.
We are not the lead, really. We are the coordinating agency.
Okay, you're the coordinating agencies. Now, are there issues about the way you execute your search and rescue operations that can further put the odd in favor of trapped victims?
Well, you see, the challenges that we are having right now, which is pathetic, is crowd control. And some area boys want to be doing bargaining. They want to convert the disaster scene as a drama scene where they will be taking pictures, where they'll be giving false information. These are challenges. But our agency has taking up the challenges. We are trying to be on top of it. We commence a lot of advocacy. We commence a lot of stakeholders to try and educate the good people of Lagos State that whenever there's an emergency, we need to leave the place. They should not give false information. In fact, if they give false information, our people should not listen to them. We've given them the portal, the modus of operandi, who should say this during emergency, so that we do not have chaos. Okay. In emergency management, Lagos State, it must not be chaotic. We're on top of it. We have the machinery from the grassroots to the zonal level to the state level, and it is well coordinated. Our modes of operation is we use incident command control structure. But it's clear. The roles and the responsibility of everybody is clear.
Okay, thank you for your advice for residents on how to build safely, and when there is a disaster, what they should do to enable emergency responders, tackle whatever is around. Okay, now, your final word for those who build. How should they build safely in Lagos so we don't have incidences of building collapse anymore?
I appeal to the good people of Lagos State and the builder. They should abide with the building code of the states. We have a responsible, a reputable organization, building controlling agency in place. We have a robust and holistic ministry that manage building permits in the state, in the in Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban. So I'm appealing to good people of Lagos State, abide with the rules and regulations, and surely safety of life and properties will be surely ensured in Lagos State. And what we put in place under this administration, all the planning permits, all the building code are friendly. Okay. You can easily approach anybody, and if you are having challenges, you can call us on 767 or 112, or you can call my number directly, 080 6090 7333. We will be surely to assist you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Femi Okelson-Tolu. I am sure this advice goes nationwide to all those who build in the country, in Nigeria. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on Panaroma today.
Thank you.
We have been speaking with the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Safety Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA. It's now time for us to take sports update, and Olumide Gotola is standing by to bring us the latest.
Aderonke Akumbi won Team Nigeria's first medal at the ongoing International School Sports Federation Games in France after clinching gold medal in the girls' 3,000 meters. The kid, who won the women's 5,000 meters at the second all-comers in Lagos with a time of 17 minutes 0855 seconds, dominated the track and broke a 33-year-old record of 9 minutes 41.28 seconds in a time return of 9 minutes 36.86 seconds, a new national record. Back home in Nigeria, the two actions continue at the 2022 Super 6 competition of the Nigeria Women Football League. Niger Rattles takes on Bayelsa Queens. Same for Edo Queens against Nasarawa Amazons, while Rivers Angels trade tackles with Delta Queens. In the English Premier League, Liverpool will attempt to close the gap on the log of the league table with a date against Southampton Tuesday night. For now, Manchester City tops the league with 90 points. With sports update, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
Sports update by Samuel Johnson there. And that is it on Panorama today. But before we go, remember that the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. I am Adeola Komiakere. Enjoy the rest of your day.